Preview.
WWE has been on fire the past few days. After a really good episode of Monday Night Raw's debut on Netflix, wrestling has been the best it's been in years. Well, it's not only in the ring that's been great, but out of the ring as well. One WWE superstar who has gotten a ton of speculation is Becky Lynch, who hasn't wrestled a match since May 27, 2024. Many wondered when or if Becky Lynch would return to the ring. Well, wonder no more, wrestling fans. It has been reported by Fightful that Becky Lynch has signed a new contract with WWE. It was either Becky who returned to WWE or retired to be a mother to her daughter Rue. With her signed is excellent news, but there is one question I have now. What are the potential feuds to have Becky Lynch start within WWE? Well, from the bunch, two feuds make the most sense. Liv Morgan just dropped the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley at the Raw Netflix debut. That was the end of the feud between the two, and honestly, I don't want to see another match between them for a while. Thinking about it, WWE doesn't have a clear direction for Liv Morgan. Well, guess who kept bragging about retiring Becky Lynch? It would be Liv Morgan, and why not have a feud between the two and Becky's return for a bit? The feud should continue until the Bollocks' Final Testament and Wyatt Six feud ends. The Wyatt Six will then move on against the Judgment Day, which would ultimately end that faction and make the Wyatt Six look good. In the meantime, have Liv and Becky face off against each other for a bit. Why, a feud with Lyra Valkyrie needs to happen. I think she and Lyra Valkyrie would be very interesting. Valkyrie needs to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament on Monday against Dakota Kai. She has a ton of potential and needs to get some wins. She also took way too many L's in 2024. That needs to change, and to make the Women's Intercontinental Championship belt important should be a must as well. A big star like Becky Lynch needs to chase after that belt will help. That should be the first big Women's Intercontinental Championship match. And I think this feud needs to be stretched until WrestleMania 41. End of my WWE rant. No matter what though, I am glad that Becky Lynch is back in WWE, and I will be excited to see how her return will be in the WWE Raw Netflix era. Hopefully, they don't cancel her appearance like they did last Monday for The Undertaker. My gosh, what was WWE thinking with that decision? Next, John Cena's final WWE tour has begun, and the Cenation leader is set to enter the Royal Rumble in February. Meanwhile, Dutch Mantel stated Gunther would be a good choice to be Cena's final WWE WrestleMania opponent. John Cena was once undefeated as a performer in the Stamford-based promotion under Vince McMahon's regime. However, the aura changed in the coming years as the franchise player transitioned into a full-time actor and became a part-time wrestler in the industry. Speaking on Story Time with Dutch Mantel, the veteran was asked which superstar would be a good choice as John Cena's final WWE WrestleMania opponent. The former manager named the record-breaking United Kingdom and Intercontinental Champion Gunther and stated Cena wouldn't mind that being his last match at the grandest stage of them all. I think Gunther would be a good one. I think John Cena needs to do the honors. I don't think he'll have a problem doing that, Mantel said. Dutch Mantel thinks John Cena won't cross paths with 10-time WWE champion. John Cena has a plethora of names to face in the ring in 2025, as this will be his last run as a full-time performer in WWE. There are many new and old faces to go up against in the coming months. However, Dutch Mantel thinks the franchise player won't clash with a major name. Last year, The Rock transitioned into the final boss when he joined the board and turned heel against Cody Rhodes. Regardless of his and the Bloodline's failures at WrestleMania XL, Dwayne Johnson hasn't lost his aura and made his presence felt on Monday Night Raw's Netflix debut. On the same podcast episode, A fan asked Mantel whether Rock and Cena would collide for a third time at Elimination Chamber heading into WrestleMania 41. The veteran stated he doesn't think they will and doesn't see any chance of it happening on the show either. It'll be interesting to see if the final boss wrestles at